The average employee pays 47.9% taxes and social security here in Germany. That is a boatload of money. The good news is that you can get thousands of the taxes you paid back when you file your tax declaration. So let me save you hours and hours of research and lots of money by showing you step by step how you can file your taxes here in Germany to get your money back. Before you start gathering all the documents and information, you just gotta decide how you want to file your taxes. And you have these 4 options. The official solution from the German government is to file your taxes with Elster. The good news is, Elster is free to use for anyone, and Elster is available in English now too, which is pretty awesome. But if the government creates a software, you know that it's as complicated as possible and not user-friendly at all. That's why you can also use one of the 3 English private softwares to file your taxes yourself. They cost a little bit of money, but they are a lot easier to use. And with the links in the description, you will get a nice discount when using either of the 3. I tried all 3 of them myself a while ago and saved by far the most money with Wundertax. Let me know your experience with any of the 3 in the comments if you tried them out as well. If you don't want to file your taxes yourself, you can use the Lohnsteuerhilfeverein. They can help you out if you have the most standardized case possible. Employee and not self-employed, no income from real estate, and not a lot of capital gains in general. If any of that applies to you, or you want your taxes done in the most professional way possible, you might want to use a tax advisor. We have different English-speaking tax advisors that can help you out. You'll find out more about them on PerFinEx.de. No matter if you want to file your taxes yourself or get help, you will need the following 2 documents. Your Lohnsteuerbescheinigung, which you should have received from your employer with your last December payslip or your most recent January payslip. In the table on the right, you will find most of the numbers you need going forward. And second, you need your Nebenkostenabrechnung, which you get from your landlord if you're renting, which statistically most of you do. If you own the property you're living in, you cannot deduct the Nebenkosten from your taxes, which is one of the reasons why renting is better than buying. And you'll learn more reasons in this video. Aside from these 2 documents, you need everything else you want to deduct from your taxes. Insurances, pensions, donations, stuff you bought for work, anything. And what do you do with them? You fill your Anlagen. But before, you need to fill your Hauptvordruck, which looks like this. Just fill in all your personal data like name, address, if you're married or single, IBAN, tax ID, so Finanzamt knows who you actually are. And then you can get going. The logic of your tax declaration is fairly simple. First, you sum up all your income, which you generally speaking have to pay taxes on. But since you list all your expenses right after, you will decrease your tax rate. The most interesting Anlage, attachment in English, will be Anlage N for employment income. Here you just copy and paste the numbers from your Lohnsteuerbescheinigung, the letter with the big table from your employer that we talked about earlier. And since this Anlage is different than the others, you also list your expenses here. Expenses in relation to your employment income are called business expenses, Werbungskosten in German. For that, you have a flat 1,230 euro allowance that you don't need any proof for. But if you had expenses higher than that, because you bought a laptop, drove to work, moved closer to work, got some education, list here everything to blow up your expenses as much as you can. On top of your employment income, you might have other income. There are many different Anlagen, but just to name 2, Anlage G is relevant if you're self-employed or do a side hustle, and Anlage Aus is relevant if you make any income outside of German borders, which I know from speaking to you guys in meetings, many of you do. As long as you are living in Germany, you are tax liable with your worldwide income here in Germany. Now that doesn't mean that you have to pay taxes here, because we have a double taxation agreement with many different countries around the world. But if you forget to mention your worldwide income here, you commit tax fraud, which is punishable by law with up to 10 years in prison. So please list all your income here so you don't have to pay hefty fines or go to prison. The next income that will help you save a lot of taxes is real estate. as long as you rent it out and don't live in the property yourself. Renters cannot deduct the rent from their taxes, and that's why homeowners cannot deduct their mortgage payments from their taxes either. But real estate investors can. Real estate investors can deduct their interest rate, depreciation, insurance, renovations, property management, all types of costs, and that's why your taxable loss will be most likely greater than your taxable profit. Which means you save a ton of taxes when investing in real estate. It's the same logic as your employment income and the 1,230 Euro Werbungskosten we talked about earlier. Wanna learn more about investing in real estate? Then watch our playlist that is linked right here. And the last type of income, before we come to the expenses that will help you save taxes, Anlage Cup for capital gains. And this is one more reason why you want to use a German bank or broker instead of an international one. Because if you use a German broker, all your taxes will be paid automatically to Finanzamt and you don't have to do anything. And if you give your German bank or broker your Freistellungsauftrag, you don't even have to pay taxes on the first 1,000 Euro profits as a single person or 2,000 Euro as a married couple. Now that you summed up all your income, you will have to pay a boatload of taxes. So let's calculate yourself poor with tax-deductible expenses. Vorsorgeaufwand, for example. These are retirement savings very similar to the IRA in the US or the ISA in the UK. With a base pension level 1, you can save more than 27,500 Euro in taxes as a single person and more than 55,000 Euro as a married couple. Now, if that's not the perfect opportunity to book a free meeting with us to find out which base pension is the best one for you, I don't know what is. The second expense are Sonderausgaben. Here, every one of you guys can put in your health insurance costs, no matter if you're insured in the public or private health insurance. Your Riester pension goes in here too, as well as donations or school fees for your kids. Haushaltsnahe Aufwendungen are household-related costs. So if you got handyman to repair something, list it here. You got someone to clean your home, walk your dog or watch your kids, list it here too. The worst thing that can happen is that the Finanzamt clerk is looking at your tax declaration, doesn't accept the costs and cuts them out. No big deal. And last but not least, extraordinary costs above the so-called reasonable burden. Now this one is tough, and even tougher the more you earn. If you earn 100k and want to deduct the aspirin you bought at the pharmacy, or new glasses because they're so extraordinary expensive, this is not gonna work. But if you're disabled or in need of some serious long-term care, you almost certainly can deduct that from your taxes. And if you want to know not just what you can deduct from your taxes, but how much taxes you really pay in 2025, you might want to watch this video next, and I can almost guarantee you it's not as much as you think.